How's it going? I hope you're doing well. This is another book recommendation. The author is Florence Scovel Shinn, and I've been wanting to read one of her books or share one of her books for a while, The Game of Life and How to Play It. It's the first book that she actually self-published back in 1925. But today I'm going to be reading from this little book I have. It's the collected works of Florence Scovel Shinn. It has 4 different books of hers: The Game of Life and How to Play It, Your Word is Your Wand, The Secret Door to Success, and The Power of the Spoken Word. And The Power of the Spoken Word, I believe that one was actually compiled after or published after her death. I don't know if it was like a transcript that she had written or how that worked, but anyways, this little part I'm going to read is called The Fork in the Road, and it comes from the book The Secret Door to Success, again by Florence Scovel Shinn, if you're interested in looking that up and reading the whole book. So to start with a quote, a Bible verse actually: "Choose you this day whom ye will serve." Every day there is a necessity of choice, a fork in the road. Shall I do this or shall I do that? Shall I go or shall I stay? Many people do not know what to do. They rush about letting other people make decisions for them, then regret having taken their advice. There are others who carefully reason things out. They weigh and measure the situation like dealing in groceries, and are surprised when they fail to attain their goal. There are still other people who follow the magic path of intuition and find themselves in their promised land in the twinkling of an eye. Intuition is a spiritual faculty high above the reasoning mind, but on that path is all that you desire or require. In my book, The Game of Life and How to Play It, I give many examples of success attained through using this marvelous faculty. I say also that prayer is telephoning to God, and intuition is God telephoning to you. Correspondence course. So choose ye this day to follow the magic path of intuition. In my question and answer classes, I tell you how to cultivate intuition. In most people, it is a faculty which has remained dormant. So we say, awake thou that sleepeth. Wake up to your leads and hunches. Wake up to the divinity within. Claude Bragdon said, "To live intuitively is to live fourth dimensionally." 4D. Now it is necessary for you to make a decision. You face a fork in the road. Ask for a definite, unmistakable lead, and you will receive it. We find many events to interpret metaphysically in the book of Joshua. After the death of Moses, the divine command came to Joshua: "Now therefore arise, go over the Jordan, thou and all thy people, unto the land which I do give to them. Every place the sole of your feet shall tread upon, to you I have given it." The feet are the symbol of understanding, so it means metaphysically, all that we understand stands under us in consciousness, and what is rooted there can never be taken from us. I'll read that again because it's powerful. All that we understand stands under us in consciousness, and what is rooted there can never be taken from us. For the Bible goes on to say, "There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life. I will not fail thee nor forsake thee. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest." So we find we have success through being strong and very courageous in following spiritual law. We are back again to the fork in the road, the necessity of choice. Choose you this day whom you will serve. The intellect or divine guidance. This is what it's coming down to right now when you're faced with the choice to surrender to the mass perception of reality, or to go with what you know to be true through your intuition and your guidance. So your fork in the road is going on a global scale, say, and it's a choice between, in this case, she says, the intellect or divine guidance. Sometimes we think that our intellect is the end-all be-all, what science says, what history says, what statistics say, but what divine guidance is showing is that there's far more cases of the miraculous, there's far more cases of the power of love, of unity, of consciousness, of awakening, and how those can be the new precedent, but we have to release our clutch and our grip, our stranglehold to what has been in the past or what it looks like, instead of manifesting and using our power. So anyways, moving on. Choose you this day whom you will serve. The intellect or divine guidance. A well-known man who has become a great power in the financial world said to a friend, "I always follow intuition and I am luck incarnate." Inspiration, which is divine guidance, is the most important thing in life. People come to truth meetings for inspiration. I find the right word will start divine activity operating in their affairs. So this is what Florence Scovel Shinn did. She would hold what's called truth meetings, and people would come to her asking her to speak the word. And what she would do is she worked heavily through positive thought and affirmations and teaching people the power of their words, which in the other video that I'm going to read from this, where I go over your big opportunity, which is an amazing little section about the power of your words and being very vigilant of what you speak into existence and being observant of what other people are speaking, because a lot of people are speaking curses upon you all the time, and you think, what curses, what are you talking about? What is it called when we learn how to write? We learn how to spell. So our spelling is the practice of cursive handwriting, curses, spelling. It's not a coincidence. So what you're speaking into existence is a manifestation. It is either a gift, a blessing, or it's a curse. And many of us curse ourselves and are cursed by others when we aren't cognizant of this faculty. But that's going to be the next video, or if I already recorded it, you can hop over there. It's going to be titled Your Big Opportunity, also by Florence Scovel Shinn. But continuing on here, she had these truth meetings and she would speak the word, these affirmations, to help people reprogram their consciousness from what they were, the narrative that they were saying, to obtain negative results or experiences in their life, and she would help them shift it and turn it around. And it worked, so they would keep coming back. So again here, people come to truth meetings for inspiration. I find the right word will start divine activity operating in their affairs. A woman came to me with a complication of affairs. I said to her, "Let God juggle the situation." It clicked. She took the affirmation, "I now let God juggle this situation." Almost immediately, she rented a house which had been vacant for a long time. Let God juggle every situation, for when you try to juggle the situation, you drop all the balls. In my question and answer classes, I would be asked, how do you let God juggle a situation? And what do you mean when you say, I should not juggle it? You juggle with the intellect. The intellect would say, times are hard, no activity in real estate, don't expect anything until the fall of 1958. Or the intellect would say, times are hard, there's a global pandemic going around, it's the end of days, this is a terrible situation, I'm stuck alone and I'm lonely, don't expect anything good to come out of this. That's the intellect. With spiritual law, there is only the now. Before you call, you are answered. For time and space are but a dream, and your blessing is there waiting for you to release it by faith and the word. Choose you this day whom ye will serve, fear or faith. In every act prompted by fear lies the germ of its own defeat. It takes much strength and courage to trust God. We often trust Him in little things, but when it comes to a big situation, we feel we had better attend to it ourselves. Then comes defeat and failure. The following extract from a letter which I received from a woman in the West shows how conditions can change in the twinkling of an eye. I've had the pleasure of reading your wonderful book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I have 4 boys, 10, 13, 15, and 17, and thought how wonderful for them to grasp it in their early life and be able to get things which are theirs by divine right. The lady who let me read her copy gave me other things to read, but it seemed when I picked this book up, it was magnetic, and I could not let go of it. After reading it, I realized I was trying to live divinely, but did not understand the law. She was trying to live divinely, but did not understand the law. And what did it say about our understanding? It says our understanding is everything that we stand under in consciousness. So in our waking thought, that's what we subscribe to, which is what we are producing in the world. And what's rooted there can't be taken from you, but it's also yours to shift. So you shift your understanding, you shift your consciousness, you shift what you're manifesting, and then you become rooted in that new belief. But it's important to know whether or not you understand what you're even believing or what you're even creating. The lady who let me read her copy gave me other things to read, but it seemed when I picked up this book, it was magnetic, and I could not let go of it. After reading it, I realized I was trying to live divinely, but did not understand the law, or I would have been much further advanced. At first, I thought it quite hard to find a place in the business world, after so many years of being a mother, but I got this statement: God makes a way where there is no way. And He did that very thing for me. I am grateful for my position and smile when people say, "How do you do it? Manage 4 growing boys, a home, after all the times you've been hospitalized with such major operations and none of your relatives near you?" I have that statement in my book. God makes a way where there is no way. God made a way for her in business when all her friends said it couldn't be done. The average person will tell you almost anything cannot be done. I had an example of this the other day. In a shop, I found a delightful little silver dripolator, D-R-I-P-O-L-A-T-O-R, which would make just 1 cup of anything. I showed it to some friends with enthusiasm, thinking it's so very cute, and one said, "It will never work." The other said, "If it belonged to me, I'd throw it away." I stood up for the little dripolator and said I knew it would work, which it did. My friends were simply typical of the average person who says it can't be done. All big ideas meet with opposition. Do not let other people rock your boat. Follow the path of wisdom and understanding, quote, "and turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest." End quote. In the 13th verse of the 24th chapter of Joshua, we read a remarkable statement: "And I have given you a land for which ye did not labor, and cities which ye built not, and ye dwell in them. Of the vineyards and the olive yards which ye planted not, do ye eat." This shows that man cannot earn anything. His blessings come as gifts. Gifts lest any man shall boast. With the realization of wealth, we receive the gift of wealth. With the realization of success, we receive the gift of success. For success and abundance are states of mind. For it is the Lord our God, He it is that brought us up, and our fathers out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. The land of Egypt stands for darkness. The house of bondage, where man is a slave to his doubts and fears and beliefs in lack and limitation, the result of having followed the wrong fork in a road. So see how what she does is she takes the scripture, she takes the Bible, and tells what the metaphysical summary or statement is from that. So she talks again about the land of Egypt. The land of Egypt stands for darkness. The house of bondage stands for our mental entrapment in subscription to fear and doubt. And how those represent us choosing to understand of the wrong fork in the road. It's choosing, don't choose the left or the right, choose the middle. So I mean, it doesn't say to choose the middle, but if you're not able to choose the left or the right, you're not able to choose, in other words, duality, this or that. You're not able to choose what's given in front of you, because there's always a third option, as Buddha talks about the middle path. It's not laid out for you. You have to perceive it intuitively, through your intuition, through your divine right. You have to be wise enough to know of, critical thinking, but not of the intellect, of the spirit. Critical thinking of the spirit says, they're telling me it's either the end times or a time to surrender to government rule. Maybe there's another way. Maybe there's another perspective that I can choose to shift out of this. Choose ye this day who you plan to serve. Who do you serve? Faith or fear? And understand that that consciousness or your understanding is what's going to create what's coming next. Continuing on. Misfortune is due to failure to stick to the things which Spirit has revealed through intuition. All big things have been accomplished by men who stuck to their big ideas. Henry Ford was past middle age when the idea of the Ford car came to him. He had great difficulty in raising money. His friends thought it was a crazy idea. His father said to him tearfully, "Henry, why do you give up a good $25 a week job in order to chase a crazy idea?" But no one could rock Henry Ford's boat. So in order to come out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage, we must make the right decisions. Follow the right fork in the road. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to the law which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand, nor to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. So as we reach the fork in the road today, let us fearlessly follow the voice of intuition. The Bible calls it that still small voice. There came a voice behind me saying, "This is the way, walk ye in it. On this path is the good, already prepared for you. You will find the land for which you did not labor, and cities which ye build not, and ye dwell in them. Of the vineyards and olive yards which ye planted not, do you eat. I am divinely led, I follow the right fork in the road. God makes a way where there is no way." So that's the end of that little section there. If there's anything in it that was a little cryptic, because it's pulling from the Bible, just take it down in smaller chunks. It's not being complicated here. What it's saying is you have the choice, as in all things with new thought and law of attraction and all of those things that people scoff at. This was written, or her first book was published in 1925. I did the calculation really quick, that's 95 years ago. So she got it 100 years ago. If you're scoffing at it today, it might take us another 100 years. Or we can apply what they already knew then in this critical time that we're in now. Food for thought. Thanks for watching. I hope you take a look at the next video where I'm going to read her other little section called Your Big Opportunity, because I really like that as well. Thanks for watching.